My name is Madison Barra, and welcome to my podcast, where it's all about teaching you how to lose weight, keep it off, and actually enjoy the process. I've lost over 70 pounds, and these are the failures and lessons I've learned along the way. Hope you enjoy and subscribe. Today, we're going to go over igniting your drive, mastering motivation and willpower. Show of hands, who would like me to sprinkle on some magical motivation for you guys? Yes, who would like me to sprinkle on unlimited willpower for you guys? Say woo woo, absolutely, right? Okay, so let's dive into exactly what we're going to talk about today. So, this is what motivation looks like. Up and down and up and down. The longer you're doing something, the more times that motivation will go up and down. Can we all attest to this? Yes? Do we all know, and we're not living in fairy tale land, motivation is not constant, correct? We agree? It goes up and down like this graph, okay? So I like to call motivation a roller coaster. Does anybody else feel like motivation is definitely a roller coaster? It takes you on a ride, right? You go high, and then just as quick as you're high, you can go just as quick as you're low. You can go right, super low the next day, the next minute, right? Motivation is just not just high and low as a roller coaster. It's also just as fast as a roller coaster. You guys ever been on like a really big high and then out of nowhere we can turn it into a low? Can you guys be like demotivated very quickly? Like one thing happens, right? Like we lost only 0.3 pounds today. We could have said, screw it, I'm done, right? It doesn't take much. It takes a lot to get us motivated and to stay motivated. It does not take much for us to go down, right? Because think of it as a roller coaster. Look at all the resistance on that roller coaster as it has to push you up, right? And look how easy it is to fall. Same idea with motivation. Making sense? So what the heck does that mean? Well, first things first, motivation is not the thing that we should be waiting for. Because if motivation is inconsistent and we use it for results, then guess what? Results will be inconsistent. Who has had inconsistent results? Everybody's hand should go up because we started thinking that motivation is the key. But if we are relying on the thing that goes up and down, results will go up and down. It only makes sense. Is this becoming clear? Okay? So it's about figuring out how we can turn I can't do it into I can do it. And it really is as simple as snipping off the apostrophe and the T. Okay? So what I want you to do is think of this. Willpower is like a battery. Okay? This battery can be full. This battery can be empty. Now here's the trick with willpower, ladies. The more you use your willpower, the more you have to use it, the faster your battery drains. And when you drain your battery, you are in trouble. When you have no willpower left in your battery, that is when you cave. That is when you fall off, when you give up, when you say screw it, when you say I'll just start fresh tomorrow or I'll just start fresh Monday. Does that make sense? So what does this mean? That means if you want to keep your battery strong and fully charged, that's when we're the strongest, most motivated, and we can say no. And we're focused like we've been this week. In order to keep our battery fully charged, you need to not put yourself in situations where it is being drained too often. So the longer you can go in between bouts of needing willpower, the less battery you are draining. And then if we practice this over time, okay, our battery becomes bigger and we can hold a bigger charge. Does that make sense? And so it's not, how can I get more willpower? It is, how can I increase my battery? And how can I protect my charge? Do you guys get in this? So how can you protect your charge? How can you guys protect your charge? Because if you've created a lifestyle where you're constantly tested, that's not you protecting your charge. If you walk into the kitchen and there's a box of cookies open on the counter, that's not protecting your charge. If you walk into the pantry and all the chips are at eye level, that's not protecting your charge. If you open up the fridge and you see all the leftovers, That's not protecting your charge. If you have to go to work and they have a thing of donuts, that's not protecting your charge. If your husband picks up food and calls you on the way home, you want McDonald's, that's not protecting your charge. Do you see what I'm saying here? So it's not like you have to completely remove this stuff from your life. You're going to be tempted, and by all means, you should be giving into temptation every now and then, right? But the only reason or the only way that we can stay strong is if we start to think, how can I rearrange my life so it's not hard for me to say no? I'm saying no less often because it's not even popping up. So you have to get creative, right? Because you also have to realize there's other people in your life, right? And you don't want to impose your goals and your lifestyle on them. But you also have to know nobody is going to take your goal more serious than you. Nobody, not your husband, not your children, not your friends, not your mother, you. So that means you have to be the one that sticks up for your goal more than anybody else. And if you've never stuck up for your goal, you've never put your foot down, and you've never set boundaries for your goal before, why would anybody else take it serious? Because it doesn't sound like you are, right? So what that means is you need to look where you can protect your charge. So maybe you need to have a conversation with your husband and say, hey, babe, I love how sweet you are. I love that you always ask to go get me food, or you hand me the bag of chips to have a bite. Can you maybe not ask me for food? Just pick up food by yourself. Don't ask me. When you're eating chips, put it in a bowl and then go hide the bag. So you have one serving there and I can't have any. You see how we get creative? We're not imposing ourselves on other people, but we are protecting ourselves, right? Maybe the kids love to have snacks. So maybe instead of buying an entire bag of pretzels, you portion out that bag into little Ziploc bags so they can see it and they can have it for their lunches. And if you go and you take one of those bags, now you're a bad mom because you just stole their lunch. You see? It's one less extra, just one thought, one barrier you're putting in the way. Do you guys get it? And that's what you need to be thinking. How can I do that, right? Maybe the kids want things in the house that are tempting for you. Maybe you say, hey, kids, mommy doesn't want this in the house, right? It's just not healthy. It doesn't make mommy feel good, right? Like it makes mommy feel tired. Doesn't it make you feel tired? Can we try something else? What would make you feel good? What gives you energy, right? We don't want to impose diet culture on our children. And we want to make sure our children don't suffer from the same things we're suffering from. So if by you standing up for your goal, you're also showing them to stand up for theirs, right? So ask yourself, where can I protect my charge? Where can I protect my charge? Okay, where in my life do I keep slipping up and I can't say no? How can I put a boundary in place so that becomes a little easier? Okay? Does that make sense? I want you guys to start thinking already. Because this is what we think happens, okay? We think this is how we get results. We think it starts with motivation, right? We're motivated. I'm going to do this. Let's go do this. I've planned. I'm prepped. I'm starting on fire on Monday. And then the motivation causes us to act. And then we start doing the right things on Monday. And then when we do the right things, we get results, right? This is how we think it works. But this is how it really works. You start doing something. That thing produces results, and the results give you motivation. You will never get sustainable, long-lasting motivation if you do not have results first. And you cannot get results by doing nothing, sitting around waiting for motivation. And so if you find yourself and you're the type of person that keeps saying, why can't I get motivated? Why can't I stick to something? Because what are you waiting for? You're waiting for something. Like nobody said you had to be perfect. Nobody said you had to clear out all the junk in your house, only eat salad the next week for the rest of your life. Like nobody said that. And so what's stopping you from just taking a small action, being 1% better today than you were yesterday? We think it's either perfection or nothing. And we live in this world of extremes. We are either so healthy, don't bother me, I'm not going out, I'm a hermit, I'm trying to lose weight, or it's a free-for-all. And it doesn't have to be that way. If we recondition our mind to realize even Olympic athletes, even the bodybuilders and the bikini competitors, they have willpower just like you, the same level. They don't have more than you, and they don't have more motivation than you. They structure their life so they don't need as much willpower, and over time, their battery has grown so big that they don't get drained so easily, and motivation sticks longer. Motivation comes after we've trained and built up our willpower. But we will never build up our willpower if we don't start tweaking our lifestyle somehow. Does that make sense? Are we understanding why we're falling off, why we can't stick to things, why we're so tempted all the time? You haven't been protecting your battery, and perhaps you've been too afraid to put your foot down or not sure how to put your foot down in a fair way. And just get creative. Right? If work is your temptation, you always find yourself going to the break room at work because they always bring in candies or stuff. Have a conversation with your supervisor, your boss, and say, hey, can we maybe send out an email and say no junk food for 1 week, or healthy January, right? And I'll bring in a fruit tray every day, right? Or be the person that puts the fruit tray beside the gummy worms and you look like a good person, right? You're bringing healthy food for everybody else, but really it's for you and you just look like a hero, right? Like there's tricks out there that protect your motivation without stepping on anybody else's toes, but you really need to do this or you will forever repeat the same cycle. We are all in a pattern right now, but some people's patterns are 2 days, right? Some people's like really good fall off. Some people's are a month. What's your cycle? What's the pattern you get stuck in? Like how often are you good during the day and then you fall off at night? Are you good during the week? Then you fall off on the weekends? Can you be really strong for a month, lose 10 pounds, and then you have a cheat meal and you absolutely blow up? Are you really good to get ready for a vacation and then the vacation throws you off and it takes you a while to get back? Like, what's your pattern and what's the timeline of your pattern? Everybody has a timeline. For me, it was usually a month. I couldn't really ever make it past a month of healthy eating. What is your timeline? And the only way we can break that cycle, ladies, is if we focus on our willpower. And that starts with restructuring our life a little bit. Make sense? Yes? Okay. So Simona says 3 weeks or less, right? Diane says weekends, right? And to be honest, like if we really think about it, we probably have weeks-long cycles. Like we're really only structured, or we're following this unoptimal pattern every week and we're repeating ourselves. How else can you describe not losing weight, even though you're trying? There's something going on where you're repeating a pattern every single week. You're stuck in a cycle that you don't even realize it. And it's as simple as protecting your charge. And you can even say that to your spouse and your kids, or the person that you live with, or the family member that always tempts you, or the friend that only wants to hang out if you're going out drinking and dancing, whatever. Right? You have to protect your charge. Now, how do we do that? What are some extra things to do that? Well, I think by now you guys know there's lots of tactics we can do. There's lots of workouts, there's lots of recipes. That's the stuff that is practical, right? That's the tactical stuff we do. But the tactical stuff doesn't stick if our mind isn't behind it. If we don't believe that it works, we don't even try it, right? So what I want to show you right now is something I call the Golden 5 weight loss rules, okay? Now the Golden 5 weight loss rules, I have created a sheet for you guys here. This is basically your North Star for body transformation and beyond that, true happiness. So these 5 golden rules, these are the rules that I have forged over personal experience and years of training and coaching other women. And these aren't just impactful rules, but these are life-changing rules. Okay. It is a roadmap to reclaiming control, building your self-love, and really unlocking like your limitless potential. And I know that sounds crazy, but let me explain. Okay. So rule number 1 in the Golden 5 is what I call restore responsibility. Basically, ladies, what this means is whatever in your life is not going according to plan, whatever in your life is the thing that's throwing you off, is the thing that's sabotaging you, is the thing that's making it harder. Whatever is going on in your life that you do not like, we say it is our fault. Even if it is not our fault, we say it is. Why? Because if we take the blame off of something else and we put the blame on ourselves, then we can actually control it. Then we have power. How can we take full control of our body and our health if we're saying something else has control over it? Something else is causing me to do X, Y, and Z. So you restore responsibility in your body, in your health, in your life. So now everything is your fault. And the good news is when it's yours, you can change it. You're not waiting on that thing or that person to change. You can start the change, but only when we take it, then we can change it. Does that make sense, ladies? It sounds crazy, but a world where you stop blaming and pointing the finger and being a victim, even if you deserve to be, even if it's true, a world where you take that power back and you turn that finger back at you, oh my God, the power is insane. Your life changes. You can change anything at any time, including your weight, and it can happen like that. So you restore responsibility, and I call it hashtag make it your fault. Does that make sense? Sounds pretty crazy. I can see your faces. But this is the one mindset shift that changed everything for me. When I stopped blaming my husband for bringing pizza home, when I stopped blaming my metabolism for being too slow, when I stopped blaming my schedule for being too busy and making me too tired to work out, when I said all of it's my fault that my husband bring pizza home and I don't talk to him and tell him and help him guide me. It's my fault that I haven't found a way to make workouts quick, easy, fun, and simple, so I want to do them. It's my fault that I don't know how to speed up my metabolism. Because now it's my fault I can't speed up my metabolism. Now it's my fault to figure out how to speed up my metabolism. So now I'm in this solution-oriented mind. Instead of, woe is me, I'm stuck here. Does that make sense, ladies? Do we all know a place in our life where we could switch that a little bit? Probably, right? Instead of victim, we're solution-oriented, okay? So that's the first one. Now, the second one on the left here is called pursue pain. And pursue pain is this. On every journey, you will run into pain, discomfort, and failure, right? Shake your heads. Yes, we know. No matter what journey you embark on, there will be some type of pain and discomfort. Now, most of the time when that pain and discomfort arises, what do? We take it as a sign to stop. We think that means it's not meant to be. We think it means it's too hard and it's not supposed to be that hard. But actually, every time there's an obstacle, ladies, that is a gift from the universe. It's a little gift wrapped up in a bow. And the universe is saying, here's my present to you. If you dare face it, you will find gold at the end of the rainbow. If you dare push through instead of turn around and go in the opposite direction, there is a gift that you've never unlocked before. And here's the funny part. The universe will keep making you repeat the same mistake until you learn your lesson. Who keeps falling off their diet or their healthy lifestyle the same way? Who keeps falling off the same way? Either the same food or the same type, the same time, same day, whatever it is. Guess what that means? The universe is saying, you're not learning your lesson. Deanna, Mickey, Chris, Sue, we're not learning our lesson. Does that make sense? And so you go headfirst into pain. When we're in that pain, you realize, oh no, this means I'm in the right direction. This means I'm trying to uncover something I've never faced before. And if I have to face something I've never faced before, that means I'm going to learn something I've never learned before. And to get somewhere you've never been before, you have to learn something you've never learned before. We want to get to a weight we've never been before. And we want our mindset to shift along the way of getting there so we can stay there. So that means we have to do things we haven't done before. And when we do that, we are uncomfortable. We are uncomfortable. Nobody likes doing stuff they're not good at. And if we were good at losing weight, you wouldn't be listening to me talking right now, right? So you pursue pain and you take it as a gift from the universe saying, make it to the other side. And I'm going to reveal something to you so great, you could never go back. We've been missing lessons. We've been missing gifts from the universe. It speaks to you when you listen. And if you don't listen, it will feel like you're banging your head against the wall and you keep repeating the same mistakes. Okay? And I call that hashtag fail forward. Fail forward, ladies. Failure does not mean we backtrack and we starting from zero. A failure means it's an opportunity. You know, like a slingshot? You know how a slingshot, you have to pull backwards in order to shoot forward faster? That's what this is. It's a slingshot. When we fail, we didn't fail. We're just being pulled back in the slingshot and we're ready to shoot forward. But only if we realize in the slingshot. If we realize we're in the slingshot. If we don't, we let go of the slingshot and we just hang there, and that's when we failed. Make sense? So that's the second rule. Third rule is face facts, okay? How many times do we make decisions based on how we feel today? I don't feel like working out, so I don't work out. I feel like eating that donut, so I'm going to eat that donut, right? I feel stressed, so I'm going to cry. We feel. And there's nothing wrong with our feelings. But like motivation, what do feelings do? up and down and up and down. And they can change like that as well, right? 1 minute we're happy. You know what? Like when I'm sad, when I'm depressed, I put on the song Don't Worry, Be Happy. You know, the song where they whistle? And I immediately get happy, right? And so that's how quick your feelings change. Go put on a funny song, your feelings change immediately. So what does that mean? You have to be very careful when you make decisions in the heat of the moment. When do we normally give up? When we are the most discouraged, the most defeated, the most upset, right? But the hashtag here is hashtag facts over feelings. If you have approached this journey right, and you have a bunch of tools to pull from, like I talked about on the other live coaching call a couple days ago, if you have all these tools to pull from and you look at your tools, you're in the heat of the moment, you're upset, you're frustrated, you're on the brink of giving up, and then you assess the evidence that you've collected on your journey, you can make an informed, calm, rational decision. If we take our measurements in the heat of the moment and it says, oh no, I actually lost an inch when I thought I gained an inch, I can chill out. If I take new pictures and I compare them to my beginning pictures, I can chill out. When you have the tools in place, aka the facts, aka the evidence, you can get out of your feelings faster. You look at the facts and you can make informed decisions. Okay, evidence guides your actions. Feelings should not, especially on a weight loss journey. Okay, feelings start our journey. We are unhappy. We don't like the mirror. We're not confident. We can't fit into clothes. Use feelings to stir up the motivation. Do not let feelings be the reason that you stop, especially if you have evidence that proves otherwise. We are making decisions too quickly on this journey. Health is forever. Why are we in a rush? You reach your goal, you're not going to stop trying to be healthy, correct? Right? It's not like 20 pounds down, awesome, give me a box of donuts. No. You can have your donuts. You can have your cheesecake. You can have your pizza. But my point is, there's more to this than just food. There's more to this than just I succeeded or I failed. I won or I lost. That's not what this journey is. This journey is a game of endurance. How long can I last? Because you can't lose this game. You only lose the game of weight loss when you stop. You only lose the game of health when you stop. If you haven't stopped, you're still winning, even if the scale hasn't moved. Does that make sense? Nobody is losing this battle, even if you feel like you're losing. No. You're winning the war. You're losing the battle. Sometimes you have to lose a battle to win the war. You're still fighting this war. When you stop fighting the war, that's when you're defeated. Does that make sense? So please, for the love of God, face facts. Get out of our feelings. Okay? Next rule we have, repeat repetition. I think this one's my favorite. Repeat repetition. What does this mean? Well, think of a Kung Fu master. How many kicks did it take for a Kung Fu master to master that kick, to break that wood? How many times do you think he had to kick to learn that? 100? 1,000? 10,000? 50,000? Up there. And so if it takes a Kung Fu master thousands of kicks to master his kick, what makes you think you've mastered weight loss after 10 attempts, 20 attempts? Are you a master of your own body? No. And if there's anything worth mastering in this lifetime, it is your body. And so if we're heading out on the journey of mastery, you have to realize that it's not about collecting all of these bunch of different things, trying this. It's about repeating repetition, doing the things that you know worked when you don't feel like doing them, when they don't seem to work. It's doing the boring work that nobody else wants to stick around long enough to do. That is how you get somewhere nobody else ever gets. Is that clear? And one of my favorite sayings is, give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I'll take the first 4 hours to sharpen my axe. Has anybody heard that before? I think that was Abe Lincoln. So give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I'll take 4 to sharpen my axe. Every time you repeat something, that is an opportunity to sharpen your axe, so that when you are ready and faced with opportunities to chop down that tree, you are ready, you are sharp to do so. But we sell ourselves short. We jump off this journey too soon. We have not repeated this enough to be a master of our body. Right? Doctors spend 10 years in school to become masters, and more to become to specify in things. And we forget that. And then we get upset when we've tried 5 times and failed. But it's like, oh no, hold on. It takes my whole life to become a master of my body. So let me keep trying. Let me keep learning. What did I learn about my body this time? That's why I love making you guys weigh in every day, because sometimes it goes up and you know why. Sometimes it goes up and you don't know why. Sometimes it goes down and you know why. Sometimes it goes down and you don't know why. What you're doing is tracking your trends, understanding your body. If you don't understand your trends, how can you expect to master the one thing that you need to master in life? Yourself, your mind, your body, your self-control. So repeat, repetition. We don't need to cave at the first sight of a challenge. The challenge is an opportunity to use the skills we've been repeating in a real life environment. Okay? You don't know you've learned things until you're tested on those things. We can't spend life in school. We have to go out in the real world. Make sense? Yeah. Now, the last thing here is burning bright. So this is an example of burning bright is spreading glow, right? Generosity, love, optimism, and wisdom. But basically, it's just igniting a fire within yourself that is so bright with positive energy that it just radiates into the world. Okay? If you have that type of energy, number one, do you think anything could ever phase you? No. You're just going to be a happier, cheerier person. Number two, if you have the type of energy, don't you think you're going to look at every situation with like excitement and curiosity? So you'll never be discouraged. You'll never be let down. You'll never be like, I don't want to do that. You will tackle things head on. And so if you can find a way to find the passion within yourself, why are we doing this? Why are you alive? What's the point? Burn the fire within, it radiates without, and then life is just better. It is easier. And somehow you just get luckier. Does that make sense? I am lucky. I am a lucky person. So much lucky things happen to me. It's beautiful, but it's because I curate that luck. Does that make sense? Do you guys ever feel like I'm so unlucky? Why does this always happen to me? Why doesn't this happen to me instead? You got to create your own luck, and it's doable. It comes back to the universe or God or energy or physics, whatever you resonate with and want to call it. There's something there, and it rewards you when you try. It rewards you when you don't give up, and it rewards you when you have a contagious energy that helps other people along the way. And so you kind of cast a spell of luck that ripples to you and the world around you. It's amazing. And it is such an unexpected tool to use in weight loss. But like, don't you want to be lucky in your weight loss journey? You don't want it to be hard. You want it to have some luck, right? Use it. Use it. And so your repeat repetition hashtag is be 1% better. Right? Just try to be 1% better today than yesterday, not 100% better, okay? And then your burn bright hashtag is rise and shine.
If you found this podcast valuable, I hope you can leave a 5-star review. And if you want to learn more about how to lose weight fast and for good, visit Tremera.com. Thank you for listening, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss another episode.